Hello, and I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your extended weather forecast. And thank you for watching KHOU 11 Plus. We're tracking the tropics. Tropics are ramping up just a bit. The good news, though, is that we're not expecting any threat from any storm, at least for the next 7 days. We are tracking Gabrielle, that is currently out in the middle Atlantic. It is struggling to maintain its strength. It has winds at 50 miles an hour. I'd be surprised if this even has the fuel to strengthen into a hurricane in the coming days. But there's also another area behind that has a 20% chance of development within the next 7 days. Just looking at that system right there, that's going to be continuing its similar track of Gabrielle in the coming days, and so we're looking an eye on that as well. Here's the latest forecast track of Gabrielle. It's still a tropical storm. Winds are at 50 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 15 miles an hour. This is as the 10 a.m. advisory. The track has shifted off to the east just a little bit. It was heading straight for Bermuda. It looks like the storm might actually end up missing Bermuda in the coming days, especially as we get closer towards Sunday morning. That's when we're expecting that system to near the islands of Bermuda. But now Bermuda is actually outside of the forecast track, which is good news for everybody. Good news for the U.S., good news for the Gulf and the Caribbean, as that storm is expected to remain over open water. The National Hurricane Center has that strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane, but like I said, it's still struggling to strengthen into a well-organized tropical storm. It's pretty weak at the current last check. Model plots are definitely in agreement that that's going to be the track as we head in the next few days, but the latest track has it just to the east of Bermuda going into Sunday morning. Also, there's additional waves coming off from the African coast. We have one that's right there, and then you have another one just over the Cape Verde Islands as it's continuing to move. That is going to move across the Atlantic. There is some Saharan dust that is going to cause it, and it's going to make it struggle to develop into an organized system. So these systems are not looking too, as they call it, juicy as we head into the next few days, especially as we track the tropics, which is good news for everybody, but we're going to keep an eye on that pretty closely. It's still too far out to tell whether or not those systems are going to form into anything. So we've already crossed Gabrielle off the list. Our next name is Umberto. We still have Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor. We haven't even got through most of those names for our 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, and so it's been pretty quiet, and we hope it stays that way. We all know too well what those tropical systems can do to the city of Houston, and we just hope that we don't see that as we head into the end of September and October, because we're still in the peak of hurricane season. We're not out of the woods yet. We have to wait till the end of November, even though most of those storms have happened in late September and early October in portions of the southern U.S. So looking at the feels like temps and the actual temp, it's 89 degrees at Conroe, Bush Airport at 87, Hobby Airport 86. The humidity is still quite high outside, so it's causing those feels like temps to be in the 90s, feeling like as hot as 102 out at Sugar Land, as we are starting to see that cloud cover starting to move in. So as we look at the rest of our Thursday, we do have a chance for maybe a shower or two to move through the Houston area. I think we're going to see a bit more showers today than what we did yesterday, but if you're spending prolonged time outdoors, it's still quite warm out and muggy out there, so practice those heat safety measures if you are spending time outdoors for today, especially the muggy conditions lasting through the night as well. So high pressure system building back across Cabo, St. Lucas, and Baja California. We're going to start seeing that open up the door for our atmosphere to become a bit unstable in the next coming days. So we have low off towards the north, but then going into next week, we're going to see this low pressure system dig further south in towards Texas. It is going to bring a cold front. I think this front may end up stalling and just keeping those rain chances there at least for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So starting on Monday is when we're going to start seeing those rain chances start ramping up, especially becoming more scattered for the start of our next week. So here's the return of the unsettled weather pattern that we all have been too used to for this past summer. So looking at our radar right now, if you're watching this, it's currently 12:34, and we're starting to see that sea breeze front that's just off the coast of Galveston, causing some isolated downpours to flare up just offshore. Usually during the afternoon hours, that frontal boundary, that sea breeze front, moves inland over the city of Houston, and it usually brings those showers and storm activity with it as we head into the next few hours. So from, I believe now, at least until 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when we're going to see the potential for some of these pop-up showers and pop-up downpours across the city as we head into tonight. And then eventually that rain chance diminishing overnight, and then the rinse and repeat for tomorrow as well. It's just that rain chance is going to be mostly just isolated in nature. So temps in the upper 70s. I think that rain chance is going to be diminishing by 7 p.m. Temps expected to remain above normal, especially as we head into the end of September. But for the next 10 days, highs in the 90s. We do have cooler temperatures on the way, but just keep in mind that this is really not associated with that cold front. I mean, it actually is, but it's because we're going to see more rain and cloud cover for Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's where we're going to see those upper 80s, and that's when we also expect to see those temps still in the 90s. But our average high for this time of year, usually around 90 degrees, and we're going to be far above that, especially for the weekend. So a muggy and toasty weekend, even though we're heading closer to the first day of fall, but that's going to be the case at least for the next 7 days. So high temps in the 90s, lows in the 70s, 30% chance of showers and storms heading into this afternoon. Rain chances are looking more minimal for tomorrow and into Saturday. I think this weekend is going to be mostly calm and quiet, but still the chance for an isolated downpour. But then starting on Monday, it just seems to be that, oh, the start of a new season, here comes the change in the weather pattern. We're going to see that rain once again become a bit more scattered and widespread, especially as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So definitely keep that in mind and have those umbrellas on standby as we're going to see the return of those rainy conditions across Southeast Texas. And if you're just now joining us, we are tracking the tropics. That's the kind of the big news on what's going on, and the more active situation that we're currently tracking is Gabrielle. It's not going to affect us. It's still currently over the Atlantic. It is struggling to maintain its strength. It is a very weak tropical storm. It's going to remain tropical storm status at least in the next couple of days, but it's just the structure's just not looking too impressive. Behind that, we have another wave that has a 20% chance to develop. That's actually looking a bit more impressive in terms of what we could see, but also there's some Saharan dust currently across the Atlantic, especially closer to Africa, that could weaken that system that's behind it. So the good news though is that no threat to the US or the Gulf as we head into the coming days. Gabrielle eventually veering off towards the north, still maintaining tropical storm status. Might end up strengthening to a hurricane. I'd say it's going to be hard for that to happen. I think it's going to stay a tropical storm in the next 2 to 3 days. But the good news is that for the island of Bermuda, it's now outside of that forecast track. Yesterday, the track was sort of had it in the middle, but there has been a more of an easterly shift in that track for those afternoon hours, and all weather models in good agreement that that's what is going to take place, especially as we have high pressure system off towards the US that's going to be pushing that off towards the north. So looking at the tropical organization, like I said, you have this wave that's coming off the coast of Africa. You also have a lot of Saharan dust. Saharan dust usually does a great job at keeping those systems fairly weak. It tears those systems apart. There's a layer of dry air involved with that dust that tropical systems do not like. And so that's why they don't strengthen when there's dust in the vicinity. And you have a lot of it currently just near the African coast. And that's going to struggle to strengthen as it moves across the Atlantic. So there's a couple of waves, and I think that this first one that's over the Caribbean, that doesn't look too impressive. I think it's mostly that secondary one that currently is going to struggle to maintain and get to more stronger as we head into the next few days, especially for next week. So no threats to the U.S. or to the Gulf. It's just going to remain mostly quiet with a chance of isolated showers for these afternoon hours, especially here across the Houston area. So as far as our Thursday planner, temps in the mid-90s. Some of us might be fortunate enough for a little bit of a cool down, but the humidity just really not going away. High temps are just going to be in the mid-90s. Some of us might get down to 88, especially in some areas. But as we look at the weather pattern, high pressure system that was keeping us mostly sunny and dry, building back over Baja California, and we will see that door open up for these weather systems. We had those lows that were traveling north of us across last week, and now the weather setup for next week is that we're going to see this rainmaker move further south. It's going to bring an associated cold front with it, and that's going to up our rain chances for next week. So be on the lookout for those downpours, especially as we head into the afternoon hours. We're already starting to see that form just off the coast of Galveston, and it's just those showers are going to be the ones that are going to start moving inland, especially as we head to the warmest parts of the day. The warmest parts of the day usually does a great job at fueling that storm activity, which is why you could see, according to Future Track, those pop-up showers between now at least until 3 to 4 p.m. And then eventually tonight, mostly quiet conditions. Might see a lingering shower here and there, especially for Liberty and Cleveland. I can't say those words fast, especially when close together, but we are expecting mostly quiet conditions for those morning hours, especially as we head into the start of our day for tomorrow. So to keep an eye on those warm temps, especially if you have those outdoor plans for this weekend. You might see a passing shower or two. Just have that umbrella on standby, but just also keep in mind that rain chances will be ramping up for next week, especially as we ring in the first day of fall. It's going to be the fall equinox going into the start of next week. So highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. Still practice those heat safety measures. I know fall is just around the corner, but it's still going to be summer and mostly hot and muggy here across the Houston area as we head into the next few days. Just keep in mind that the return of that unsettled weather pattern could bring some messy roadways, especially for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And of course, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your KHOU 11 plus forecast. Make sure to tune in once again today at 4 p.m. for KHOU 11 news at 4 p.m. as well as later on tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great rest of your day.